Hi there. In addition to my reading that I normally do with y'all, I like to also teach history to students, and I found a really interesting project online that I want to try out today. And since I'm a newbie at this sort of thing, I haven't done it too often, I might make a few mistakes. But this is how to make your own for writing in cuneiform. Cuneiform was the ancient writing of the Mesopotamian peoples, going all the way back to the culture of Ur and Uruk, the Uruki, also called Sumerians. The Uruki created this form of writing, which is uses a pen or a stylus that then is pressed into clay, wet clay, and the clay is fired, and then it's used in order to create documents of different kinds and messages and abstract thoughts, and eventually is used even for writing down artwork like the Epic of Gilgamesh. So this style of writing, which goes way back, started with pictograms, which are little pictures of things. And those pictograms then over time became more and more stylized, more and more artistic, until eventually they became just these series of almost like lines, little sticks that represented the thing that they originally were supposed to look exactly like. For those that might find this strange, when you look at cuneiform, it doesn't seem to look like the actual thing it's supposed to represent, but our own vocabulary does this as well. We use the alphabet, alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, eta, zeta, theta, so that alphabet, A, B, C, D, is actually an abstracted form of language based upon original pictograms, in the same way that cuneiform is an abstract form of writing which was based on original pictograms. The classic example for this is that the first letter of our alphabet, A, or A, was based originally on a picture of a bowl, which in ancient, I think it's Babylonian, the word was Alep. And Alep, or Aleph in Hebrew, becomes alpha in Greek, and eventually comes down to us as A. So Alep, that was the original word that they used to talk about a bull. And a bull, Alep, was drawn with the horns and all, and the face of the bull, and then the body of the bull. And after time, that pictogram changed so the body was dropped out and only the face was actually drawn. And then that face eventually was made into a very stylized face. You got two horns with a cross over them like this. And then that was flipped, and we got ourselves the letter A. So from the horns of the bull to the letter A, Alep became alpha, or A. Our own alphabet comes from these pictograms. So we're talking cuneiform, which is an abstract alphabet, if you will, that is originally based upon pictograms. So they created these tablets using either what are called a stele or stele, these styluses. Styluses writing on stela, which are pillars, or they use tablets, or they would sometimes use what's called it's a roll, like almost like a toilet roll, if you will. It's a cylinder seal that you would take and you'd roll out onto wet clay, and that would also make images that were cuneiform. So we're going to make a stylus here today. Now I've got this from the internet, so I don't know. This hopefully will work for us, but we'll see if it happens or not. This is just a typical Big Bowl pair of chopsticks. I have no affiliation with Big Bowl aside from the fact that I like the food. And a pair of chopsticks here. I've already opened mine, so you open up the chopsticks, take them out, separate them, and then you have two sticks, which are essentially, this is what your stylus is, just this. But in order to make it more like a stylus, the stylus was something which was shaved down to make a V shape. And so we're going to do that using a piece of sandpaper. So you got your chopsticks, and you got sandpaper. Now this, I have two in case I screw up one of them. I can always do one later and make an actual stylus that works. But with the sandpaper, you're just going to sand down. This is the square end of the chopsticks, not the pointy end. Sand down the square end of the chopsticks in order to make a stylus. Let's see if this works. Sanding it. Oh, you could, wow. So you could already see, if you see in here, this is already becoming more of a V shape. It was originally, here's the original. It's more of this square shape like that. But just with a little application of elbow grease, you get this, which is more of a V shape. And we're going to shave the other side as well to make a stylus, the ancient world. So we shave this side, we're going to do this side. Again, we'll see if this works. I've never been known in my family, I've never been known to be a very handy kind of guy. I like projects, but half the time when I do the project, I have to do it 4 or 5 times because I screw it up, you know? So it gives hope to anybody else out there who isn't particularly handy. At least I hope I give hope. Maybe you like look at me and you're like, I'm not that dude. We'll see. So far so good though. Looks like we're getting ourselves a nifty stylus here. Do a little bit more on the other side. My worry is that I'm going to end up just waxing away everything. Oh, that is so cool. Look at that. Okay, there it is. You got yourself a stylus. That then will allow me, put it up against my blue background, that then would allow me to press into wet clay and make a V shape into the wet clay. And the way that they would use their styli, is this would be the V shape, and then that would be the line that they would create. So this end would be creating the line, and this end would create the pointy part, the arrow part. So, and they would flip back and forth. A good scribe would just, flip back and forth while he's making his letters. So that'll be stage 2 of this whole live demonstration of how the ancient world works, I suppose, is to go and make some cuneiform using my stylus. Thanks. Good luck making your stylus. If you don't make the stylus, enjoy the big bowl. See you later.